Jace Lejeune from Gridiron Football at our third annual Gridiron Football Media Day right here at our office in Denham Springs High School, here with the Prairieville Hurricanes led by their head coach Mike Schmitt. Coach Schmitt, great chance to catch up with you on the upcoming season. I know you just finished year number 1. Dove right into the deep end, first year in varsity and everything. So before we talk about 2025, tell me a little bit about 2024 when you thought about your first year.
I thought it went well. I thought we were able to put a product on the field that was competitive. It was tough. We didn't really get to know our kids until June 1st, till after the end of the school year was done. And so it was a short, I think we were in practice for 2 weeks and I did our first 7-on-7. And so I didn't know kids' names. We had names on helmets. We had all the other good stuff happening. But we have a beautiful facility. We had some good coaches around. Coaches were getting to know each other. It was the first time all of us had worked together. So it was just a year where I felt we got better and better as the year went on, and I think guys kind of started to understand, and it was really just kind of a catapult into the next season.
Absolutely, Coach. I know there's a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement around this program, like you mentioned about the great facilities that y'all have, and enrollment's increasing as well, so a lot of things to be excited about. About the football team, why should we be excited about this year's upcoming 2025 season?
Well, we have everybody back. We lost a couple of good seniors for us, but for the most part, I think we have out of the 22 starters, 19 coming back. And even out of that, the senior class, although we're looking forward to having them around, there's not that many of them, to tell you the truth, when you look at the grand scheme of things. We have over 100 guys in the program and probably only about 16 seniors on the roster right now. So these guys have all paid the price and have been doing all the things we ask them to do. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking to see, not just for us, but for our kids to see that hard work pays off, and that I'm anxious to get them on the field so they can see, the fruits of their labor.
Coach, you decided to bring 5 guys with you today to our media days. Tell me about these 5 guys and why they represent your program so well.
I think just like that, just what you just said, represent really well. Braylon Williams is a guy for us that didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but this year has had an unbelievable offseason, had a good basketball season, went out and got better, been in the weight room all summer. I don't think he's missed one workout all summer. He kind of has earned his position, right? I think some guys from last year kind of just got their position because it was a new school and everything was brand new, but he's kind of earned it. Gabriel Ford from the get-go has been a guy that has really been a pleasure to coach, has really kind of bought in and wanted to do well. But another great offseason. The strength of those guys improving over time has gotten great, and it's because they're here every day, they're lifting and doing all the work you're supposed to. Ivan Sanders is another kid for us that has really kind of earned his way up, has had his bumps in the roads, but has just stuck with it, and has had that consistency that you look for in a program and the development of it, for the young guys to see that if I stick with it and I have that consistency, I can get better as well. And then Brody Creel came to us. He has a little brother on the team, and he came to the program. We were excited to get him because he was somebody that probably where he was going to get a little bit of playing time, but he decided to come here and take that leap of faith like a couple of these guys did, and has been a leader from the get-go. And so having those kind of guys is essential in building any program, especially a brand new one. And then Austin Gill is another guy for us that has come in from the get-go, has done everything we've asked him to do, started, all last year, and has been another face that every time a young guy comes in, he sees that same person doing the same work every single day. And consistency is the name of the game in football, in high school football anyways.
Absolutely, Coach. Let's talk about the offensive side of football as a whole. What should we look towards this year? Just kind of give me a brief synopsis of what we should look for.
We switched up offense a little bit. Last year we were kind of running ball underneath center, kind of a mix between underneath and shotgun, running some wing eyes type stuff and some spread. This year we're spread option all the way. We're not overly large. When I order T-shirts, I don't order a bunch of double X's, so that makes me nervous sometimes. So what we've decided to do is we're going to be an up-tempo spread offense. I know these guys probably don't enjoy it that much, but we're getting them in shape so they can run, play fast, and so that we can wear people down by being better conditioned. Because you can't control how tall or big you are, but you can control your shape.
Yep.
And so that's what we've been trying to work on. So we'll throw it around quite a bit, and we'll run the option. So we'll be as balanced as we need to be based upon what we're getting.
Defensively, what we should look for on that side of the football?
I'm not going to change much up from last year. I'd say defensively is our biggest gains from last year, from week 1 to last week. We played really well the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, and so we're more of a 3-3 style. I think we would probably play a little bit more man this year. Not so much blitzing as it is just switching the fronts up as much as we can and being disciplined and have a little bit better technique on the edges is what we're looking for.
Besides the guys you brought here today, who are some other guys that aren't here today that we should expect some good seasons for them this year?
There's so many of them, it's hard to always do that kind of stuff. I think I think I'm on the offensive side of the ball. We have a Skylar Kelly, young man who's fast. He's he had a great track season.
Okay.
One of the faster guys in our district, he's going to play quarterback. He'll play slot for us. He'll do a lot of different things. But I'm looking for a lot from him for sure. On the offensive line as well, Evans Quibido is our biggest, strongest guy on our team. I think last year was only a sophomore, but this year his strength he's definitely improved. So I'm looking forward to that. On the defensive side of the ball, we have Eric Williams isn't here today. He's one of our seniors, but he's really going to be. He's actually, we've actually decided he's going to play a little bit of two ways, which we're going to do with a few of these guys. We're going to put them on both sides of the ball. We're going to try to jump up the progress of everything. But Eric is going to be a great linebacker for us. Daniel Williams is playing D-line. I think he's a college prospect of the size. I mean, he's every bit of 6'3", 205, 210. And then, on the back end, Jamarian Meady is another guy that we have. It's not here today, but he's a guy last year. I think he's a good returner. Returned the first ever 97-yard punt return last year, and I think he's a guy that can do more of that. Missed going to the state championship in track by about 2.5 inches on the long jump. So he's another good athlete. So those guys are all guys that we look forward to seeing expand themselves. And we have a slew of sophomores and other guys that are step up, but those guys kind of have that little extra that people are probably going to see.
All right, Coach, and talk about the upcoming schedule. I know y'all got a good taste of that last year and everything. It's a tough district, but talk about the upcoming schedule.
I think it'll be last year we started off with Thrive Academy, and they're not on our schedule this year. We decided to switch that, and we're going to go play Lafayette Renaissance, and we're going to go and travel over there. So that should be a great test. Parkview, we play week 2, and then Riverside Academy again. So good programs there, us being a young program. As far as our district goes, until it changes a little bit, Dutchtown's kind of been the powerhouse of the program for a while now, for the district, for a while now. But so many good coaches. The coaches over at Walker do an unbelievable job. Coaches at Denham are great coaches. And then East Ascension, Santa Maria, there's just all that rivalry, all that tradition, and we're the new kids on the block. So you kind of have to earn your keep. So I'm kind of looking forward to all of that. But I think we have and Live Oak is another one in our district too as well. And so I think as I look forward to the district, I look forward to being able to compete more. I don't know how many more wins and losses we'll have. I really don't. But I do know that every game is going to look a little different than it did last year.
And the last question, Coach, and I appreciate your time for coming and everything, and stuff, especially bringing these guys. But basically, the last question, Hurricane fans are really excited, really about the program, the school, the facilities that you brought, top of the art. Also talk about, the enrollment's going up, so a lot of excitement around the school, and just give a shout out to the Hurricane fans and what kind of football they should expect this fall.
I'm going to tell you, the support that we got from our community last year was second to none. Our booster club, everybody joining in, the excitement. We had some big crowds for a first-year game. It was really an unbelievable opportunity for these young men to experience what 5A football is like in Louisiana. So I think what people will see this year is definitely those games where last year kind of got out of hand every now and then. They're going to see much more of a better unified team. The coaches knowing each other, the kids trusting and loving on each other and trying to get better. We're bigger and stronger, I can tell you that. And so you're going to see a more physical brand of football. We talked about it this morning, trying to just pull our best version of ourselves out of all the work we've been doing. So I'm looking excited. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when they see it.
Absolutely, Coach. Coach, looking forward to see what the Hurricanes have in store in 2025. Here's a magazine
Thank you, brother.
on those for
Appreciate it.
sure.
Yep.
And the next magazine y'all sure are going to like, because Prairieville fans, make sure to order our next copy. We'll have an in-depth season preview on the Prairieville Hurricanes. So make sure to go to our website. You can find it right above my head right here. GridironFootballUSA.com is where you can go and order your copy. Looking forward to see what Coach Schmitt and the Prairieville Hurricanes have in store. Year number 2 of varsity action in 2025.